Modern technology.
Mm-hmm.
Right, that
Wonderful.
working?
Yeah, that's fine.
Right. So chop down our onion. Which we're now going to just sprinkle over the top of this. And I've got some nice vegetables here. These are nice frozen vegetables. Just whatever you've got that you want to put on here. This is an all-in-one meal. So you're putting everything into your dish. In here, I've got my self-raising flour. And into this, I'm going to add 75 ml of sunflower oil.
Could you say that again? 75 mils.
75 ml. Yeah.
And how much flour?
Sorry, it was about 8 ounces of flour, yeah. Sorry, the recipes were on the things, I was just presuming folk had the recipes, but I'll just give the ingredients. So I just want to add that in.
Is that boiling water, Jane?
That was boiling water, yeah.
And just the same amount, 75 mils?
Yeah, 75 mils boiling water. Just stir it together and that's your pastry made. Easiest pastry you'll ever make. Rid of the computer mouse, we don't need that anymore. If you don't have self-raising flour, because this recipe is made with self-raising flour, and if you have baking powder, you can do 8 ounces of plain flour and 2 teaspoons of baking powder, and that will give you self-raising flour. Just give it a wee knead. Pat it out. If you want, you can use a rolling pin, but the easiest way is just to pat it out. Try and keep it the same shape. Lift your dish over to see if it's about the right size. Then lift your pastry, pop it onto your dish, fold it back. If you keep bits in the corners that are not quite got enough pastry, just push it out. And that's how simple it is to make a chicken pie. And we're going to put a wee slit on the top. So to stick that into the oven, it takes roughly about 25 to 30 minutes, 180 C. That's the first dish made. That's how quick these recipes are. Right, I'm now going to move on to the orzo. So I'm doing this on my wee gas ring so that I could work at the table, where I had the laptop and everything set up just to make it nice and easy. So in here I've got 1 chorizo. Now my Spanish is not good. Chorizo, I think is its correct terminology.
Chorizo.
Well, you all know what I mean. It's not be buying the supermarket. So I've just diced that up.
I'll just send a link to the Eventbrite page to everybody on the chat, and that's got some of the recipes on it, okay?
Right.
Everyone.
So you just want to leave this to cook for a few minutes to allow the fat to come out of it. So while that is cooking away.
Do you put any oil in that, Jane?
No, don't need to add any oil because there's enough oil in the chorizo. That'll come out. If you don't have that or you don't like it, you do this with bacon. So you can do it with some bacon, or if you want, you could do it with chicken. So if you're doing it with the chicken, you would cook your vegetable first in a wee bit of oil and then add the chicken. And if you want to do a vegetarian version, it's quite nice done with courgettes. So again, you would just cook your onions and your peppers to begin with, and then add in your courgettes, and then proceed. Right, so there's a wee don't know whether you can see that there. There's a
Oh.
see that bit? Da 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 dum da. I did clean the table before we started. So it doesn't mean it's eating it, doesn't matter anyway. As I was trying to show you, there is a little bit of the fat has come out.
The oil.
The oil come out of that, yeah.
Nice.
So I'm just going to pop in. Thank you for listening to the camera. Pop in my onions and peppers. I diced these up before, and I've used the yellow pepper tonight, but that was just because that's what I had in the fridge.
And is that on a high heat or a medium heat?
A sort of medium heat. And I'm just going to turn it down slightly now. And I'm going to pop the lid on that for about 5 minutes, just to let that cook away gently for 5 minutes.
I like your technique of banging the wooden spoon off your hand instead of banging it off the pot. I might need to learn that one. Be a bit quieter.
As my mum used to say, don't do as I do as I tell you. Don't throw your food all over the kitchen table. So while that's cooking, we're going to make a start on potato Madison. Now, I thought this was tonight's disaster, but we had another disaster with the computers. So we're doing this with sliced cooked potatoes. And tonight I'm actually doing this with like salad potatoes. Now I did debate whether I was going to use salad potatoes or normal potatoes. I thought I'll just use some normal potatoes. Again, only doing it straight for this, the quickest way to do it is to slice them up before you boil them. So I sliced it up, put them on to boil. Then Jim appeared out of the shower. I started telling him about a friend I'd been to visit today and overcooked them. So I went to get them, they were a bit overdone. If I was just doing it for myself, it would have done fine. But because I was doing it for this, I just mashed them up. They're going in the freezer, ready for a quick meal some night. And we went to plan B, which was to use to be salad potatoes. So these have been boiled. Don't have to worry about them just so much. They don't come to any harm. You're cooking them. And then slice them up. This is some cooked bacon. This was some cooking bacon that I bought. The cooking bacon is really quite cheap. What works with what you get. Sometimes you get broken up pieces, sometimes you get nice slices. But what I did was I chopped it up using a pair of scissors, which is the easiest way to do bacon. And then just put it on a plate and cooked it for about 2.5 minutes in the microwave, giving it a wee stir halfway through.
Do you end up with a lot of like excess when you cook it that way? You know, when you cook bacon, you get a lot of kind of water and juices come out of it.
Not an awful lot, a little bit. But because I wasn't doing a fair lot of bacon, I just had it on a glass plate, and so I'll just set that aside again. It's just about ready to put that orzo into the dish. Always just touch your handle before you lift it off, because you burn yourself.
Oh, it's not mine this time.
Oh, I was going to see Charlotte's dog's talking to us again. Right, so we're going to do this with orzo. Well, this is orzo, thank you, that hasn't seen it. So this one we've got more. All the supermarkets have their own. It's about the size and price. But if you don't have orzo, you can do this with macaroni. It's cooked slightly quicker. And I want roughly about 250 grams into here.
If whoever has the dog could maybe mute themselves, that would be great.
And then we're going to add into that chicken stock.
I'm just gonna mute everyone quickly. And then Jane, I will unmute you. Just bear with me. Jane. Just remove the spotlight. Mhm. 2 seconds, sorry everybody.
I think that should be it.
Oh great, there you are. Lovely.
Right.
There we are. Now we can hear you properly.
So we've added our orzo in, given it a stir through, and we're going to be adding our stock. I'm using stock cubes. I prefer to use Knorr stock cubes, but I just tend to break them up rather than dissolving it in my water. And normally I would just throw in some water and then check it a wee while. If it's a wee bit dry, I'd add a bit more. I will measure it tonight. Because she has to look at the recipe to see how much. First of 600 mils. So I'm just going to turn that up to high again, just bring it up to the boil. Then we're going to cover that. I'll leave it to cook for 10-15 minutes. Then add in our cream cheese. Then leave it for a wee bit longer. If you're doing it with macaroni, it doesn't take just quite as long.
So sorry, how much water did you put in there?
About 600 millilitres. So it's roughly about double the amount of liquid to what you have pasta. It's the same as if you're cooking rice, if you're doing like a risotto and things, you want double the amount of liquid to what you have in rice. So I'm just going to push that back a wee bit. And we're going to go back to our potato dish here. So for this we want condensed soup. This is Bachelor's condensed soup. I don't even know whether you can still get Campbell's, but I think it's the same company. And the Bachelor's one, if you can find it, it's usually cheaper. Go to like the B&M and Home Bargains, they have it. So what I've done here is I've mixed through a couple of tablespoons of milk. Now, if I was going to be doing this and going to be eating it just tonight, I would warm this soup up a wee bit in the microwave or in the pan first. Just allows the whole thing to cook that bit quicker. Because this is getting left in the fridge overnight, well, maybe try and eat it at some point tomorrow before we head off for the day. But you just want to pour this over. Spread this out. Top this with the rest of the potatoes. You can also mix some parsnip or carrot or something through this to make it a wee bit more healthy. Again, you don't have to use bacon. You can use, if you have some cooked sausage or some ham, or you can do a vegetarian version, just leave the meat out altogether and use like some mushroom soup. And top it off to make a crispy topping. In here, I've got some grated cheese and breadcrumbs. what I tend to do for breadcrumbs is I prefer to use like a Scotch loaf, but any kind of bread does work. I do it in the food processor and put it into a bag into the freezer. And then anytime you want, if you've got breadcrumbs to hand, you can just shake off the breadcrumbs that you amount of breadcrumbs that you want. So that is another dish that's quickly made.
Mm-hmm.
These dishes I'm doing tonight are all things that are really quick to do. So if you'd already heated up your soup, it would take roughly about 25 minutes to cook, around about 190. If you're going to be doing it from cold, just cook it about 180 for about 35 to 40 minutes. And everybody's ovens are slightly different. You get to know your own oven, whether you need to turn things up or down a wee bit.
And do you cover the top or do you leave it open?
You leave it open because you want your cheese and your breadcrumbs is going to make a nice crispy top. So you want to leave that open. The lid is now getting a bit warm. So we're going to do a wee after baked cheesecake.
Yum, yum.
It's your first dish you have done, Jane, in the oven. Is it cooking away?
The one that's in the oven's cooking away, yes.
That's fine. I'm really interested to see how it turns out.
The pastry is kind of like a cross between a scone and a pastry.
Aha, it sounds like a cobbler.
Yeah, more towards like a cobbler now.
Yes, right, thanks, Jane, right.
Right, so for our wee cheesecake, we're going to do them in these wee dumpy wine glasses. I'm going to do 2 tonight. So you either just want to crush up a little bit of biscuit. This is just a digestive that I've got. Or another idea is granola. If I haven't already eaten all the chocolate chips out, there should be some chocolate chips in this granola as well. So you pretend you're being healthy and having granola for your breakfast, but it's got chocolate chips in it. And for our filling, this really depends how big I should say what sort of size of appetite you have. But you want roughly about 2 to 3 ounces per portion, which is about 50 to 75 mils. So this is a 200 mils of cream cheese. I've got quite a healthy appetite. I'll have a wee bit more. You can do this recipe with only cream cheese, or you can add a little bit of whipped cream or yogurt to it. Depends what you happen to have at home. So into here we want to put about a dessert spoon of icing sugar per portion. So we're going to put about a couple of spoonfuls of icing sugar. The advantage of doing a demonstration at home is the thing you forget to take out the fridge is still the fridge behind you instead of quite a few miles away, as sometimes discovered. So I'm going to add into this. This is some Greek style natural yogurt, which is a nice thick yogurt. So I'm going to put roughly about that. So, but a reasonable sized dessert spoon for each portion. But I tend to use a lot of natural yogurt because you got it for cooking, and then I sat these out to show you another idea. What I tend to do is I tend to buy natural yogurt rather than flavoured yogurt, and then you add some of these wee things to it. It's like the wee Robinson's very concentrated
yeah.
squash. This one's a vanilla coffee syrup.
Oh, yum.
You buy these in lots of different supermarkets. This one's called a slush puppy one, but it's a strawberry flavour. So then we'll just mix that amongst my natural yogurt, so that way I've got flavoured yogurt.
That's a good idea.
I'm not a lover of having natural yogurt in my cereal. So just going to stir this through. But you can just mix this by hand like that, and it's perfectly okay like that. I'm just going to give it a wee blitz. This wee mixer. Just like a stick blender, which has got a whisk attachment to it. It just aerates it ever so slightly. If you're doing this recipe to make a big cheesecake, you would want about a 9-inch tin, 9-inch flan tin, about 6 ounces of crushed digestives, with 3 ounces of melted butter. And set that, and then for your topping, you've got 300 grams of cream cheese. Pull it back and forward to an imperial and metric here. 125 grams of icing sugar and half a pint of cream. So we just want to level that out as best we can. And if you lot weren't there, I would lick this finger. Well, keep it in the cloth, even though I'm off camera.
You've better willpower than I do.
And in here, I've got 5 after 8s and a couple of teaspoons rather of water. I'm just going to pop this in the microwave for 3 seconds.
How's the pie looking?
Not too bad. It's still down ever so slightly. I use the excuse that I use in Village Hall. You don't know what the oven's like if something is over fire.
There'll be a lovely smell.
So how come you put water in, Jane?
Sorry?
How come you put the water in?
It just thins it down a wee bit.
Yeah.
Where you see that it's sort of half melted at the moment. You stir it round, it'll carry on, and then we've got it sort of this consistency. But if you're doing the bigger size cheesecake, you would have a 200-gram box of after 8s. To that, you would add 3 tablespoons of water.
And could you add milk or something else instead if you wanted to?
I don't know is the answer to that.
Sorry. Putting you on the spot.
I don't think it would work with milk because you just want to thin it slightly.
Yeah.
And normally you
wouldn't-
would let the cheesecake part sort of set a wee bit before you try and add this on so it is still a wee bit soft. But if you happen to be one of these really strange people who don't like chocolate, there are one or two strange people around. You can do this with like some pureed fruit on top of it. Even just like some canned peaches or something. Or another one that works together nice is if you melt together peanut butter and chocolate.
Oh,
Melt
yeah.
them together. Use that as a topping. My willpower's not as good when it's chocolate, I'm afraid.
The tea tail's not getting any of that chocolate.
I will do the last wee bit to make it a bit more hygienic. So that's a wee after 8 cheesecakes. And these are great for, especially if it's people that stay on their own, if they like cheesecakes, they don't want to do a great big cheesecake, which is going to last them for days and days. You just get wee individual ones. And I say it's very much up to you how much cream cheese and things you want to put into it.
Mhm.
But our orzo, whether you can see that there, it's still a wee bit of liquid in it. But the pasta has fallen up a wee bit. I'm going to add into that some cream cheese. I'm using garlic and herb cream cheese. You can just do this with a plain cream cheese if you want. If it's a case of the fact that you don't like garlic and herb, that's great. But if you do like garlic and things and you don't have garlic cheese, you've only got plain cheese, you've got some garlic puree, just give a wee press of garlic puree into it. So we're just going to mix that through and leave that to cook a wee bit longer.
Mm.
Yeah, it needs another possibly about 10 minutes to cook. Get pasta just a wee bit hard.
It's handy though, you can just taste it as you go and figure out how long it needs.
I mean, it's a recipe that doesn't really come to too much harm if you've got it ready too soon. You can leave it to cook a bit,
Mhm.
just on a very, very gentle heat. It won't come to too much harm.
Someone's asked a question, Jane, does it have to be full fat cream cheese for the cheesecake, or does it work with the light cream cheese?
For a cheesecake, you're really better with full fat cream cheese. It will work, but it'll be softer.
Okay.
But if you like a really soft cheesecake, like they're doing an individual one, it's okay. But if you're doing a big one, it tends not to be so good. Because if you mix the low fat cream cheese, it was a wee bit soft. I don't know how many of you have been rural members for a long time. There was a given recipe. Oh, which is a long, long time ago. You need to mix. And it was, the recipe said cream cheese, and it was just about the time when low fat cream cheese came out, and everybody was trying to make it with the low fat cream cheese, and it was a disaster.
Oh no.
Somebody's off the back of my head thinks it's potato you were mixing it with. But I can't think what on earth we'll make. I don't know if anybody can remember that recipe. I don't know whether it was the Anne Wallace sifter recipe or something, but it was certainly a given recipe anyway. And we all had disasters with it because we were all trying to be healthy with this new low fat cream cheese. But I think if you're making a cheesecake that's got after eights on the top and sugar and stuff, I don't think you really need to worry too much about using a bit of full fat cream cheese. I would say our pie is about ready.
Wow.
Oh,
So that's what our a wee pie ends up looking like.
Right.
But I don't know how you would know what it tastes like.
Oh.
You'll just have to try some and we'll gauge by your reaction how good it is.
But this is actually one of my favourite dishes. Jim calls it.
Uh-huh. That
And I
looks
can-
lovely.
when I came home from town tonight, I said, because it's decided to go and visit Jean Wilson, because those of you who were on who know, Jean has fell the other day and broke her wrist.
Oh, she hasn't, has she?
It's
Oh,
a,
dear.
it's a left wrist, so she's doing not too bad.
Oh, right.
I popped in to see her, and so then I came home and I started. I usually run at the last minute, getting things prepped up and stuff. So I said, Jim got away for his shower, and then he came through and he said, "What time's tea be ready?" He was going out to a meeting, and I go, "Tea be ready? It is a joke." And he goes, "Oh, I forgot you were doing your thing tonight."
Uh-huh.
If you want something.
Oh, poor Jean.
But I'm trying to think how I can show you this. So it's a sort of reasonably thick.
Oh, that's super. Uh-huh. And what was it? Was that was it a tin of what you put into that?
The tin that I used was a can of chicken and white sauce.
I've never seen that before. A tin of chicken and white sauce.
So,
Right.
see, this is a Princess one.
Uh-huh.
I think most of the supermarkets do their own brand one.
Chicken, Princess chicken and white sauce, right.
I think I bought this in, I think it was B&M. So again, B&M and Home Bargains. These shops
Uh-huh.
got lots of things that are a lot cheaper.
Uh-huh. I must try that. That looks good, Jane.
When I originally bought chicken and sauce, it was actually Marks and Spencer's that I found it in
Uh-huh.
a long time ago. And they probably still do it, but see, this one's quite nice. You can use this pastry for any dish. I mean, if you've got some mince or some stew, you can use it as a sweet pastry as well.
Great. Super.
So that's all the recipes that I'm going to be doing. Charlotte thought we'll never get 4 things done in an hour.
I know, I was like,
Yes.
another one. Oh.
Uh-huh, no, that's super.
So has anybody got questions?
And you've put the recipes on, Charlotte, for us to print off, have you?
Yeah, so it's on the Eventbrite page. There's some images below the text and the details.
Right, that's
And
right.
they've got all the
Right.
4 recipes. If anybody's having any problems with them, just send me an email, let me know. I can send you the
That would be great, thank you.
No worries. Joan said, I made a mushroom sauce yesterday and added leftover defrosted turkey, and the pastry was delicious and so easy to make. So that's someone
Aw.
who's tried it and tweaked it to their own, which is great.
That's super. Mm-hmm.
It's a very versatile pastry. It's if you're on your own, obviously this is quite a big dish. I mean, you can do. I've got a dish which is, I don't know what size it is. Half that size anyway. It's just a smaller square. And I would use just half the can of this and half the quantity of pastry. And the other half can is nice, like a baked potato filling. Or if you've got like the crepes or wraps, you can fill it into that. But I haven't actually used it, like if I've got some Scotch pancakes, just warm up 2 or 3 of them in the microwave and then warm up the half can of chicken and sauce and pop it in the top, maybe even just put a wee bit sweet corn or something through it.
Amazing. Does anybody else have any questions or anything they'd like to bring up?
Can it be frozen?
Can what be frozen? Oh, the pie?
Yeah.
I've never actually tried freezing any of them. I keep thinking that I should try it. But, I have had them left over in the fridge for a couple of days and warmed it up and it works fine, but I can't see any reason why it wouldn't freeze. That,
You might need to freeze it after tonight because you've had to make so much.
well, I did think I might end up having to freeze some of it because we're actually heading away tomorrow at lunchtime up to Edinburgh to our daughters for a couple of days.
Oh,
Oh,
just bring it
nice.
with you.
I take it with you.
But we could have, apart from, we're heading out for a meal tomorrow night, but you could pop round, Charlotte, and get it.
Yeah.
I like your penny, Jane, with your SWI Dumfriesshire written on it, Federation.
These are the new Dumfriesshire apron.
And you got them done in for Dumfriesshire. They're lovely.
We got them done at Rostrum, did them for us. I don't know if any, you know,
Quite
Rostrum.
Right.
They're based at Lochmaben.
Right, that's very nice.
And they're a local company, and they had done our logo on a few years ago. We got fleece jackets, so they already had our
We've
logo
done
and
that
stuff.
as well for Wigtonshire. Maybe the fella that did your fleece jackets will maybe do something like that for Wigtonshire. Lovely.
Ours were launched at our Federation meeting in December, so.
All right. Are you looking for some new ideas?
And this one's got a pocket in it. Yeah, I'm not a lover of pockets, but there's got a pocket in it and a wee one like for putting a pen in.
Oh, that's handy. We just got a little message from Wilma saying, can we get the recipes in the next digital magazine? I'd probably rather just email them out to you if that's okay, because Pauline is not very well at the moment. So we're not sure when the next digital magazine's going to be out. So I'd rather get it to you a bit sooner than that, if that's okay.
Yes, that'll be good.
Loads of people just saying, thank you, Jane.
Yes, it's been brilliant, Jane, brilliant.
It looks really tasty. Enjoy your meal. Well done, Jane. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And Mary messaged a while ago, Mary Burney, just saying she was having issues with her camera and her audio, but that she could hear and she could see, and it was great. So
Got it done eventually. It was my own.
Oh, there you are, Mary.
There you are, Mary.
It was my own fault. What I didn't realise was there was a message across the top saying this is being recorded, okay, or leave the meeting. And I just ignored that because I thought, well, that's just telling us it's being recorded. But as soon as I switched that off, having been in and out about 4 times, then
I know, I kept admitting you in and I was like, what's going on?
So if that message comes up at the top, say okay, and then you can operate your camera and your microphone. But yeah, enjoyed it, Jane. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I know
Everyone's
the feeling
saying
that
thank
having
you.
computer problems, Mary.
Oh, I know. And I was just wondering if everybody wanted to unmute, and we'll give Jane a round of applause, not only for her amazing recipes and cooking, but also for staying so cool, calm and collected. During those digital problems. So well done.
It's well done.
Well done.